Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kobe and this is SkyTech Digital. Now, in our previous video, we designed this beautiful marketplace, music marketplace website over here. And in this video, I'm going to take you through the vendor dashboard, how the admin can be able to set it up, the vendor registration and all those kind of stuff, how you can be able to set it up. Now, the plugin that is running this particular website is called the WCFM Marketplace. So if you go to the backend over here, you see that we have this marketplace over here. Now, if we click on it, or you can either click here, or you can go here to click on this particular one over here. But let me show you the plugin itself. Now, if you are new over here, we installed this particular 3 different plugins which help us to run this particular website. So the main plugin is called the WCFM WooCommerce Frontend, and then we have the WCFM WooCommerce Multivendor Marketplace, and then the last one, which is the WCFM WooCommerce Multivendor Membership. So these are the 3 plugins that is really running this artist vendor marketplace over here. So the music marketplace over here, that makes it the multi-vendor, that makes it that artists can be able to come over here to create their account. Now we're gonna go through the plugin itself and then set it up and know how it's it works and all those kind of stuff. So first of all, you can, like I said, you can click over here to go to the store manager, or you can come over here and then scroll down or scroll up, and then you see this marketplace over here. Just click on it. It will take you straight away to the settings of the WCFM vendor dashboard. So this is the vendor dashboard, and this is where you can be able to do your own settings. Now the home of the vendor dashboard is this particular one over here. As you can see, this is how it looks like. So you can check your sales, everything, the store analysis and all those kind of stuff. You can be able to analytics and all those kind of stuff. You can be able to check it out. Okay, you can check all the other things over the media articles, product and all those kind of stuff. But let's go to the vendors over here. So the settings over here. So we're going to click on settings over here, and we're going to see the settings one after the other. Okay, so we're going to go through and see the settings one after the other. Now if you are new over here, this is part 2 of the website that we created, the music multi-vendor website that we created. Okay, this particular website over here. Now we are looking at the back end of the website, how the admin can be able to do settings for the vendor. Okay, so that is what we are going through now. So these are the settings over here, and as you can see, you can set your logo. These are for dashboard, so you can set your logo over here. So when you click over here, it will take you to the media library, and then you can be able to choose a logo that you want for it. So let's say I want to go through and then choose one logo. So let me see this particular one over here. So let's say I want to choose this logo. So this is the logo that I've chosen, and then if I come over here, this is the quick access icon. So you can decide to change it if you want to change it. And then also my store label. So you can decide to change it to anything that you want to change it to. So the label over here, which is my store, you can change it to anything that you want to change. Now you can also disable the quick access. Okay, so when we talk about the quick access, when you go over here and let's say you go to the music store over here, okay, you can be able to see this icons over here. Okay, so you can check those kind of quick access. That is when you are a vendor. Okay, you can be able to see all those things over here. So you see that you can be able to see these things over here. There's also an icon like this particular one over here, which helps you to go straight to your dashboard straight away. Okay, and that is the quick access label quick access. Now you can also disable what we call the floating button. Okay, so you can disable it. You can disable the welcome box. You can disable the WCFM menu and all those things. Now if you look over here, if it is checked, it means it is disabled. So the quick access is disabled. That is why we don't see this particular icon over there. Okay, so You can also disable welcome box. You can disable the WCFM menu. You can disable theme header. You can also disable the WCFM full view. You can disable, the WCFM slick menu. You can disable the WCFM header panel. You can disable a whole lot of things. Okay, disable category checklist, disable tags, disable ultimate notice, and all those things. So it depends on you how you want to do it. Now if everything is okay for you, scroll down and you see the save button over here. Just click on save over here. All right, so now that we've saved it, we can go to the modules over here. So with the modules, you can decide to enable the things that the vendor will be able to see. So I don't want vendors to be able to manage articles, so I'll turn it off. You want vendors to manage how do you call it, customers. If you don't want vendors to manage coupons, you can turn it off. You also want vendors to manage policy, membership. If you don't want vendors to manage vendor membership, you can also turn it off. But let me turn membership on over here. Also profile, withdrawal, and all those things. I'm going to turn membership off, and then later on we see how it works. Withdrawal, refund, store review, refund, I'm going to turn it off. Store review, store hours, media, vendor leisure, single product multi-vendor, I'm going to turn it off. Now this one means that somebody's music, somebody can sell it. I'm going to turn it off. And then add to store catalog, I'm also going to turn it off. And then we also have inquiry, I'm also going to turn it off. Now if you come over here, you see this one, that is the inquiry. Okay, I'll turn because it's a music website, I'm turning all these things off. And then inquiry tab also, I'm going to turn it off. Inquiry tab, I'm going to turn catalog mode, I'm going to turn it off. Pay for product, I'm also going to turn it off. It depends if you want to pay for you want vendors to pay for product. Okay, so it depends, but I'm going to turn it off. And then pop-up add product, custom fields, notification, direct message, I'll turn it off. I don't want anybody to message the vendor, so I'm going to turn it off. Knowledge base, I'm going to turn it off. Announcement will be on, analytics will be on. So I've turned some couple of things off, and then I'm going to do what? I'm going to save it. Now note that all what we are using over here is basically the free version of this particular plugin. Okay, now if you want to get the full capability of how the plugin works, you need to get a pro version, but we are going through the free version over here. Now let's go to the marketplace settings also. So over here, product approval. So if you want if you want to approve a product, you can set it up over here, so that when they publish a music, it will come, you have to review the music before it comes online. Okay, so you can decide to then check this button over here. And then sold by, if you want the music to have that kind of sold by over there, you can be able to turn this one on. Okay, but if you check this one right now, and then let's say we go and then we save it. Okay, and then we come over here, and let's say we're going to refresh this one. You see that there is this store over here, right? Yeah, this particular icon over here, it means that it is sold by this particular one. Okay, so when I click over here, it's going to take me to that person's music store. Okay, and that is it. But I don't want it. I want it to be off, because I have the artist page over here that people can go over there and search for the artist, and then the artist name is also over here. I'm just turning those things off, okay, because I don't want it. So I'm gonna go over here and then uncheck this one. Okay, and then store sidebar, I don't want any store sidebar. Okay, so if you go over here and then let's say you go to the artist page over here, so let's look for maybe this guy J Rams, and then let's go and visit a store. You see that there is a store sidebar over here. Okay, this one I don't want it, so I'm going to turn it off. Okay, this one, the store sidebar over here, I'll turn it off. And then products per page. Okay, and then store related products also as per WC rules, as per WooCommerce default rules. So we're gonna make it, and then store default logo. So for the default logo, I'm going to remove this one and put our logo over there. So if nobody have a logo for themselves, we're going to use our own logo for it. Okay, and then store default banner also, I'm going to change it, and then put this particular banner over there. Okay, this one. And then store list default banner also, I'm going to change it and put the same banner also over there. Okay, now if everything is okay, I'll save it. Now if you come over here and we refresh this one, some things are supposed to be gone. Okay, so as you can see, everything is gone. Now if you go to the artist page right now, you have to see also different things. Okay, so you see at first it was having different banner. Now we have that kind of music feel banner over here. Okay, so I think we are good to go. All right, so now that we have this marketplace settings also done, now you can go to geolocation, and then you can also do your settings over here. But we don't need this one for anything. Other settings, so disable multi-vendor checkout. So enable this restrict multiple vendors product checkout at the same time. So you can decide to disable it or not. And then also order sync, so enable this to sync WC main order status when vendors update their order status. So you can check this one to sync it, but this one I don't really want to use it. Now let's go to commission settings also over here. Now the commission for the vendor. Okay, so now you are the admin, you manage everything. Now the fact that somebody lists their music over there doesn't mean that you also don't want to get money from that. You are hosting their music for them and they are selling it, so you have to give a percentage. Okay, now if your website is free that everybody can come and then upload their songs over here, then you have to set a better percentage so that when they sell a song, you can also get a commission from it. And that is where the commission come into play over here. So for example, commission for vendor or commission for admin, you can decide to choose anyhow, but let's go for commission for vendor, which is fair enough. Now the commission mode, okay, we want the percentage. Now commission percent, okay, you can set from anywhere 50-50 or 60-40 or whatever it is. Okay, since you don't own the songs, you can set set 50-50. The maximum you can set is maybe 70-30. Okay, so I'm going to leave the 90% as it is over here. And then when we come to dealing with memberships, we will be able to set also commissions also over there. Okay, so when I give somebody a free member, or when I set up a free membership, then the commission will also settle for that free membership, and that is it. So shipping cost goes to, there is no shipping in in music. Okay, so because you are not going to ship anything, so no shipping cost. Commission after consider vendor coupon, and then commission after admin, consider admin coupon, and then commission tax also over here. If you have tax, you can enable the commission tax and all those kind of stuff. Now after that, you can scroll down and click on the save button over here. Now let's go to the next one, which is withdrawal settings also. So over here, how is the withdrawal done? Is it request auto approve? So when they request, is it automatically approved? Now since you are using manual withdrawal, you cannot enable this one. Allow order status for withdrawal, so whenever it is completed, then they can withdraw. And then you can set minimum withdrawal limit. So I'm going to set minimum withdrawal limit as 100, and then also withdraw threshold. So what is the threshold for they to withdraw? So when somebody buys a music, the threshold, let's say I'm going to set like after 15 days you can withdraw. Okay, after 15 days, and if it is 100 you can withdraw. And then marketplace reverse withdrawal settings. So reverse withdrawal settings enable this to keep track reverse withdrawals in case vendor receive full payment. So from customer, then that is cash on delivery. Okay, so from customer, then they have to reverse pay admin commissions. Now we're not going to do any cash on delivery over here on music website, downloading website. You don't do cash on delivery, so we're going to leave this one as it is. And we scroll down and we're going to click on save changes over here. All right, so now that we've done over here, let's go to payment settings also over here. All right, so this particular place is the method you're going to use to pay your vendors. Okay, so all over here, what method will you use? So if you're going to use PayPal, then you take PayPal, but we're going to use maybe bank transfer. Okay, so if you're in Africa, it is best to use bank transfers, so that the vendors can be able to send you either their Momo details or their bank transfer, so you send it to them, and that is it. But if you are not in Africa and you are somewhere else, you can use either PayPal, Skrill, Stripe, and any of these ones. Okay, which is best. Now of course, if you are testing your website, you can also enable test mode over here. And then withdrawal charges. So if there are some withdrawal charges, if you're going to pay maybe withdrawal charges on bank transfer, on mobile money and all those things, you make sure that you set all those charges also over here. So maybe you say maybe a fixed amount, you can set the fixed amount charge over here, but I'm going to leave it as no charge, and then scroll down and click on save changes. All right, so now that we are done with the payment settings, let's go to shipping settings. Now like I told you, there is no shipping over here, so we're going to disable this one, and then we go back we go down over here and click on save changes. So we don't do shipping, okay, in a music, but if you are using this plugin for any other thing like products and other stuff, you can of course enable store shipping, and then you can do your own shipping over there. Now refund settings over here. Now there is no going to be a refund, okay, so this settings is of no use, because definitely there's not going to be a refund when somebody download, the person download. There's nothing like, oh, I don't like the music and I cannot blah blah blah. No, there is no refund. And then we also have review settings also over here. Now if you want people to review a store or something, of course you can do all those settings and then set all those categories that they will review under. Okay, so depending on what you want to do. So for a music, you look at the review categories, that maybe instrumentals, vocals, that kind of thing. You set it over here, okay, and that is it. But this one I'm not going to do anything over here. And then we also have vendor registration also. So this is where you do your vendor registration. So store registration settings. So hide, become a vendor. You can decide to hide, become a vendor over here, and then required approval. So if there is going to be whether that may have to approve for you to become a vendor or not, you can set it up over here. And then email verification. So you can tick all these things, okay. And then the registration form field, the first name, last name, username, store address if you want an address. I don't want any address. Store phone, I don't want any store phone. Maybe terms and conditions, you can set terms and conditions for it, and then use your page list or search for your terms and condition page over here. And then over here you can also make a custom field over here, so you can enable custom field. And then over here it could be maybe a label, a text or something. So let's say a text. Now I can just write maybe stage name, okay. So stage name, that is the artist name that they use on stage. you know, the first name and last name is different from their stage name. Okay, so note that. So if it is required, you can just put it over here. And then of course, you can also set store address if you want to. Okay, and then we are good to go. So let's look at advanced registration settings also over here. So you can do advanced registration settings. It will take you to a different page over here. And then also we have all those registration details over here. So require approval, you can decide to set it up. Email verification, you can decide to you know, take it. Okay, you can go to the next page over here. The same thing that we do, we are doing it advanced over here. So the first name, the last name, username, okay, the store address, if you want to show store address, if you want to you know, store phone number and all those things. So let's say store address, I'm going to leave all these things as it is, and then I'll enable this and I'll say stage name. Okay, and then I'll make it required. Now let's go over here, and then the thank you. You can also kind of, you know, play around with the thank you, some of the things that you want them to what you want them to see, okay, on the thank you page. And then on approval, thank you page content. Okay, so when admin approves, this is what they also see. And then when you go to the welcome email, so this is the welcome email, you can also play around it, make sure that music is all around it if it is for music that you are using it for. And then admin notification, so when admin notify, you know, you with your vendor and all those kind of stuff, this is the notification you're going to get. Okay, you should scroll down, new subscription approval, also content over here. Okay, and then rejection rules. So if admin rejects you, this is the email that the vendor will get. Now you can go over here to the style. Okay, so membership style and all those kind of stuff. Now make sure that you I'm going to, you know, submit this one, and then make sure that this particular style is in let's say uniform with your website style. Okay, so you see this one is dark mode, red, and all those kind of stuff. So you can also go ahead and then, you know, play around with the colors to make sure that it matches your website. Okay, so table body background, you can choose a different color. Progress bar, you know, membership title, background, all those things you can play around it. So this is what the membership display page styling. Okay, so progress bar, I'm going to use, let's say, a red color for the progress bar. Membership title background. Okay, so we can use our website colors and all those kind of stuff. So I'm going to leave it as it is. Membership title color also. So this is the background, this is the title body, title body background. What is the title body background? So you can change it to suit anything that you want. You know, membership price color, membership price description, membership color, description color, table border. So with the table border also, you can decide to choose any kind of color that you feel it will be suitable for you. So I'm just going to use this one. Table text color, table background, table cell, you know, highlight color. So with this one also, I'm going to go over here and then bring it down like this. Button color, I'm going to use red color over here. Button hover color also, I'm going to use this yellow. And then button text color. Okay, so you can choose either white or black depending on you. And then preview box background. Okay, so you can also choose the color that you want to, and then preview box text also with this one. So with this one, I can decide to also choose black and then go down small, and then the text I'll leave it as it is like this. Okay, so let me go down small. Yeah, and the text I'll leave it as it is like this. So basically you can decide to submit it and then save this one. So when we get there, you see the colors that we are talking about. This is membership display page. Okay, so we are done with the settings for the, how do you call it, the registration and the membership. Now with the membership, we go into how to set membership and all those kind of stuff. But let's go back to settings over here, and then we were at vendor registration. Now we are done with vendor registration. Now let's go to store style. So we're going to look at how we can style this place so that it matches our color that we are using. Okay, so I'm going to see where, okay, so I'm going to open this one, and then I'm going to look at our colors over here, right? So we will be checking our colors to see that everything matches perfectly. So this is basically the colors that we are using, and this one is what the store name, which is white. Header background, so over here we can decide to use what we copied over here to match it. And then header social also background, you can also make sure that we have this one also over here. And then so this is for the store. Okay, so the store is the artist, right? So this particular artist, so let's say we are visiting this guy over here. Okay, so this is what they are talking about. Okay, so the header background and all those kind of stuff. Okay, and then header text, header icon. So the header icon also we can change. You see this icon over here, we can change the color to match the color that we want. So this is our red color, so we're going to change it to the red color. Okay, sidebar background. Okay, so if there is a sidebar, the background, you can decide to change it. Sidebar heading, sidebar text, and then we also have tabs text, and then tabs active. Okay, so if you go over here, this is the tab active, this is the text, okay, over there. And then store card color and all those things. So this one I'm going to change it to active text. I'm going to change it to this one, and then the highlighter also I'm going to change it to this one. Okay, and then button background also I'm going to change it to red over here. Store card text color, store card, all those things I'm going to leave it as it is. And then button hover, you can change it to yellow. And then store button hover text, star rating, and all those things. So if everything is okay, just save it over here. And if you go to here and then refresh, it's supposed to change for us. So you see all these things have changed. So these are all matching our colors. Okay, these are all matching our colors, and that is what, and that is it. So you have to go through all of them to make sure that everything is okay. Now let's go to the dashboard style. The dashboard is the vendor dashboard, this particular dashboard over here. Okay, so the base highlighter, of course, if you want to make it the red color, I'm going to change all the green to red. Okay, so basically that is what I'm going to do. Change all the ones which is green to red. Change all the ones which is green to red. So anything which is basically green, I'll change it to red. Okay, and then over here, I'm going to pick this color which is 1616. I'll pick this one, come over here, then also change it with this one, change it with this one, come over here, change it with this one, and come here, change it with this one, come here, change this one also, and then the last one you come here, change it. So this is button, right? So with the button I'm going to make it red color, but let's leave it as it is, and let's go over here and then save it and see how it looks like if everything will change. All right, so as you can see, all the changes you know, have been made. Okay, and that is how you can be able to do it. Now of course you can decide to even change certain things inside. So let's look at it. Dashboard background color over here. So dashboard background color, you can change it. Container background color, you can also change it. So let's say we want to change container background color and then make it you know, maybe black, or let's pick a different color like 20. Okay, and then container background color, let's say we want to change it to this one, and then let's go ahead and then click on save over here. So you see how it becomes over here. So this is how it's going to be. Okay, and then if you come to where is it, container background color, here is this one, and then this one is dashboard background color. So that one, let's change it to, let's say 16. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on save over here. All right, so that one also is basically all around this place. Okay, and then let's see, this is container head, what again, container active, you know, text and all those kind of stuff. Container head text, menu item color, menu active item text color, and then we also have button text also color over here. So this is how it's going to be like. Okay, so this is how it's going to be like. I think this is quite okay. Now let's go to dashboard pages. Okay, so these are the pages that is going to be on the dashboard. So you can have a refresh permalink over here. What does it mean? It says check to refresh WCFM page permalinks only applied if you are getting error. So if you are getting error, that is where you have to use this one. So this is a dashboard you know, dashboard page. This is a membership, vendor membership page, vendor registration page. Okay, so if you are creating your own dashboard, you need to use the short code over here. Okay, if you are creating your own membership, you need to use the short code over here. Okay, if you're also creating your own page for, you know, vendor registration, use the short code over here. And then when you come over here, these are the about, policies and articles and all those kind of stuff. These are all endpoint, store endpoint, and then my account endpoint. All right, so we didn't change anything over here, so we're gonna go straight to menu manager over here. So over here you can decide to you know, manage your menu. So if you look at on your left hand side over here, see the top one is the home. You can decide to change it. Okay, even over here where it says product, you can decide to make it what, music, right? Yeah, so music or something like that. So your songs or music. So maybe let's say songs. Okay, and then you can go ahead, you know, just do some changes. Store vendors, you can make it, instead of store vendors, you can make it what, artist. Okay, so maybe artist, anything that is, you know, related to what you don't think you want, you can just go ahead and then change it. And then if everything is all right, just click over here and then save it. All right, so you see that this button is not really showing you well, so we can go ahead and then even play around it using the, how do you call it, using the where is it, the dashboard style. Let's go over here and see the dashboard style. So button background, we can choose a different color. Okay, so we can choose this one for our button background. So we can choose this one, button background. You can paste this one over here, and then over here we can either choose white. Here we can choose white, and then scroll down and then just publish it. So now you see, now we see the button over here, which is quite okay. So everything looks fine over here. All right, so let's go to this is menu manager. Let's go to notification manager. So this is where you manage all your notifications. Okay, you can turn some on and off depending on how you want it. So direct messages and all those announcements and all those things, these are all notification. Now your notification is on top over here. Okay, so announcement and notification, these are all notifications. You can turn it on or off and manage all of them over here. I'm not going to go through over here. And then email settings, also you can set all your emails over here. So if you are not receiving any emails, come and see if all the email addresses are set over here. Okay, and then your website name also over here. And then product type categories. All right, so this you can decide to product type category. You can decide to specify the categories for all the products over here. So maybe an album should be maybe a variable product, maybe simple product should be maybe a single single song or something like that. You can put it over here. And then group product, you can choose a category over here. So depending on what you want, you can create categories and then set it over here. Okay, I'm not going to do that because for me, I feel it's of no use. So I'm just going to go to product custom field. Now you can also set some custom fields for the product. So for example, if you want to, you want some fields for, let's say maybe the genre or the type of music and all those kind of stuff, you can set it up by which will appear in the product. So it says that you can integrate any third-party plugin using custom fields, but you should use the same field names as used by the third-party plugins. Okay, so these are the field that you're going to use, but make sure that you use the same field group names also, whatever it is. So if you are not sure with it, just leave it as it is. And as you can see, if you go to this particular product over here, you see that I, as the admin, I listed all the things, the genre and all those kind of stuff over here. The same way the vendor can be able to also list it over here. All right, so now we're going to go to store policies. Okay, so this is policies you can set for all the stores. You can set the shipping policy, the refund policy, cancellation policy, and all those kind of stuff. Now these particular policies do not really sometimes apply to music, okay, because we don't ship. Refund, we definitely will not refund. Cancellation, fine, you will subscribe to the the store or the website, so you can give a cancellation policy over here. But aside that, these are really not really necessary. You can set it in your terms and conditions over there. And then store hours also is of no use for this particular kind of website that we are running. So if you have to set up a days off and all those kind of things, this is 24-hour business, so there is nothing like store hours and all those kind of stuff. And then data cleanup, so you can enable it. You check this to enable schedule cleanup all data if it will not be possible to restore this data anymore. So if you enable this, then you can schedule the times that you want to the data to be cleaned. And it's not a good idea because it is music, it should be there forever. So do not enable this one. So I think now we are done with the settings and all those kind of stuff. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go to what we call capabilities over here. All right, so if you look at the website over here, these are the store vendors capabilities, what the store vendors can be able to do or what they cannot do. Okay, so look through and then enable what you want to enable and then disable what you want to disable. So they cannot publish a product because you have the right to publish a product. They can manage their product, they can add product, but they can't publish. They will just save the product to draft, and then you or submit the product, and then you will be able to publish it as the admin. Auto publish live product. So if it is, they can, if you want them to edit live product, they can edit it and then automatically it will be published. They can, I will say they cannot delete products because if you give them the chance, they can be able to delete some products which they intentionally decided to use it to collect people's money, and then later on they will tell you that, oh no, they did not create that kind of product, and that is it. So just go through over here. So marketplace, sold by, you can turn it off, all those things, the things that you don't really need. For example, I don't need this one, I don't need this one. Okay, all I need is just these two things. Even with a variable, it is because those who are making beats, that is why I'm leaving it as it is for them. And then inventory, we don't need inventory, we don't need this shipping. If you need taxes, you can do it. We don't need linked products and all those kind of stuff. Catalog, we don't need it. So just go through and then see how you want all of them to be done, and then you can just save the changes. Now we have the shop vendors, we have the shop managers also, and then we also have the staff, shops and shop staff capabilities. Now these two things are in the pro version, so this is what we can be able to manage as at now. Now let's look at the settings also that they have over here. So this one takes us to the dashboard once again, and then this is how it looks like. Okay, so now that we have the capabilities done, now there is one thing we have to set, which is membership. Okay, unfortunately the membership is gone over here because we disable it. So we can go to modules over here, and as you can see, we have membership over here. Okay, just click on enable over here and then come over here and then save it. Now if you disable certain things, you are not going to have access to its settings and all those things. Okay, and that is why we did not get any membership over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to refresh the website and then see if you're going to have membership. Now of course, as you can see, there is membership over here, and we can click on membership over here, and then we can set up our membership. So as at now, we don't have any membership over here. Okay, so we don't have any membership, so we can add new membership, or we can go to the settings of the membership. Now let's go to settings of the membership. So as you can see, this is a general settings of the membership, and we have what we said, required approval, and then email also verification. Now custom plan page. So if you have a custom plan page, you've designed your own custom plan page, you can put it over here. Custom thank you page, you can also put it over here. Okay, and then subscriptions first step. So as of now, we don't have any subscription, we haven't created any things, but we have to create subscription, basic subscription, featured subscription, and then maybe the first step also subscription. Okay, so let's go back over here and then scroll up, and then over here we can click on add membership, add new membership, and then we can go ahead and then set up our membership. So disable membership, hide from table plan, one-time subscription. So you can do all those things if you want to, but I'll call this one maybe the basic. Okay, so basic plan, and then I'll say subscribe now. If you want to, you can give details to it, and then over here the features, first set up the membership basic settings here, define the features here. So later on we will go and define the features. Now let's go to the subscription. We want the basic plan to be free, okay? So it will be free, and then it will expire after, let's say, 30 days, or you can put maybe 1 year over here. So 1 year, right? Because if after 30 days they haven't sold anything, it means you, the admin, did not get anything. So let's make it 1 year over here. And then approval. So if application rejected, keep it as a normal user. It requires approval. And then the thank you, welcome, you set all the commission. Remember I told you about the commission. We're going to change it from the global to percentage. And over here, because it is a free plan, I'm going to give it a 70%. So I'm giving them free access to upload their songs over here, but I'll give them what, 70% of the commission, and I will take 30% of the commission. Okay. Shipping costs go to vendor and all those kind of stuff. We don't really, it doesn't really matter. And then let's go to capabilities also over here. We don't have access to set all those capabilities. Now badges also, we don't have access to do it because all those things are in the pro version. Now let's click submit over here. All right, so we've submitted our membership. Now let's create another membership, which we'll call it maybe the gold plan. Okay, so let's say the gold plan. Okay, so with this gold plan membership, we will go to the subscription over here, and you can either set it as a one-time or recurring membership. So let's say it is a one-time membership, and then we are going to use the WooCommerce checkout. Okay, we're going to use the WooCommerce checkout, and then over here we can set a product for it. So if it is a WooCommerce checkout, then there should be a product which will be set for it. So you can go ahead and set a product for it. Let's go to the backend and then create a product. So if you this product will be used at WooCommerce checkout for membership. Okay, so we can go over here and then go to the dashboard, and then we can create a product. Okay, so we're gonna go to product, and then we go to add new product. We call this one the gold plan, and then you can give a description for it. You can make it a virtual over here, and then you give it a price. Let's say maybe $39 dollars. And then okay, so all these things we're gonna leave it as it is. And then over here, there's visibility over here. We will say it's gonna be private, and then we edit it over here, and then we say hidden. Okay, so we want to hide it. Okay, we want to hide it, so we're going to hide this particular one. And let me just put it at public again, but the catalog visibility we want to hide it. And then we can give it an image, and then we can just publish it. So this is the gold plan. Okay, so we're going to create another plan and call it premium. So we're going to click on add new over here, and we say maybe premium. We call it premium, and then we come over here and make it a virtual product, and then over here we will say maybe 99. Okay, over here we're going to say maybe limit to 1. We forgot to say it. Let's see, so everything is okay. Now let's come over here, and then we will hide it from the catalog. Okay, so save it, and then we publish it. All right, so now that we have these two products, let's go over here, and then what I want to do is I want to just submit this one first, and then I will come over here, and let me just see if I will see the product and say gold. Okay, so you see the gold plan is there. Okay, now we have gold over here, so we can click over here, and that is the plan. and then payment amount is what, 39, and then expires after 30 days. Okay, so it will expire after 30 days. Now let's go over here to approval. So we want to say keep as a normal user, the thank you, everything is correct, and then this one percentage, we'll give it maybe 80%. Okay, 80%, and then we'll say submit. Okay, so now let's create another plan, which is the last plan, and then we call it premium plan. Okay, so over here we go to subscription. Over here it's also a one-time subscription. We use the WooCommerce product, and then we say premium, this one, and then the amount is 99. Then will also expire after 1 year, so 365. And then when you go to approval over here, or let's see, yeah, okay, so when you go to approval over here, we keep it as normal, thank you, and all those things. Let's go to commission, and then also this one we use percentage, and we give it what, 90%. Okay, so we will give it a 90 or 95%, right? We use the 5 to, you know, sort our things out as admin, and then we can submit it. All right, so as you can see, we've submitted all the membership. Now let's go to the membership settings itself. So we click over here to go to the membership settings, and then we're going to set you know, the page for all of them. So our first step plan is going to be to choose a plan. So first step is going to be to choose a plan. The basic plan, or the basic plan, is this one. Okay, and then the featured plan is also, I'm going to use the premium one. Okay, now let's look at the priority over here. So 1 is basic, 2 is gold, and then this one is premium. Okay, so membership plan display visibility proud to left to right. So this is it. So if you want the premium to be up, you can just put this one over here. Okay, and that is it. So basically this is how it is done, and you can scroll down and click on submit. All right, so now that we've done, we can go to the features over here, and you can set, you know, features for all the, you know, the plans. Okay, so you can set all the features. So maybe have access to the store for free for one, you know, free product for 1 month. And you can also add another one and say maybe okay, so I'm going to say free product, access to the website for 1 month, and then I'll come over here, access to the website for that one. How long did we choose? Let's say also for 1 or for 1 year, for 1 year. And then we come also access to the website for 6 months, for 6 months. Okay, so you can, you know, add, you know, certain things, everything that you want to what you want to add over here. Okay, so create unlimited products, right? So I'll say unlimited music. Okay, instead of music a product, I'll say music or songs, unlimited musics or songs. Okay, so you have access to it for 1 month, access for 1 year, then access for 6 months. So I'm going to leave this. You can add more features to it. Okay, so let's just publish it over here, and then let's go to the registration field. You can also add some custom fields that you want to add for the registration. Also over here, payment, you can go ahead and then enter your payment. So we're going to use maybe bank transfer or something like that, or you can enable PayPal or credit card for Stripe. Enter your details over here, and then tax settings, thank you, welcome, admin, membership change. Somebody wants to change membership, then the email that will go, next payment, renewal notice, cancel rules, expiry rules, and then rejection also rules, and then its style. Okay, so you can play around with the style over here. Okay, this one we already did it from the beginning. Okay, so basically I think everything is set. Now the only thing is, let's go back to the memberships page over here, and I'm going to go over here to, let's say, edit the free plan, and I'll come over here. You see the features over here, right? We have create unlimited product songs. So you see what we access to the website. So we have access to the website, and then 6 months, 6 months. Okay, so you can just list your things over here. Okay, and then we'll come over here. So songs, you can say songs, access to the website. Okay, so just like that. So let me go back to the settings over here, and I'll go and do that corrections. Okay, so I'm going to go to features over here, and then over here I'll say songs over here, and then access to the website, and then what I'll do is I'll delete this one, say yes, and I'll also delete this one, I'll say yes. Okay, so these two features is what I'm going to use to create for all of them. All right, so let's go back to membership over here. You see all the memberships over here, and then with this one we're gonna go over here, and we come down, scroll down, songs, we say unlimited songs. Okay, now if you have the pro version, you can decide to limit the number of songs that they can be able to upload. Okay, so access to the website, we will say for 1 month. Okay, so 1 month access to the website, and then we will click on submit over here. All right, so let's go back to membership. We've done one for this particular one. Let's go to the gold plan over here. Let's click on it, and then come over here, songs, unlimited songs, create unlimited songs, let's say songs, and then access to the website 6 months. Okay, so we're gonna come over here, click on submit. Now let's go to membership again, and then this one, which is the premium plan, click on it, scroll down, the songs, we say create unlimited songs, access to the website for 1 year. Then so you can you can even add more features to it. So if you go to here, I just remember that we set up some things for them. So features over here, we can add commissions. So commissions or commission, right? So commissions, and then let's go and set it up for all of them. So submit, and then we go to membership over here, and then over here we give them a commission of 95, right? 95%. 95% commission, right? So 95% commission. We submit, and then we go back to membership also over here. And then for this membership, the gold plan, we give it 80%. Remember, so we're going to click over here and then change it to 80%. Then we come over here and then we submit. And then also let's go back to commissions and memberships again, and then we go to the last one, which is the basic plan. We give it 70%, I think. Yeah, either 70 or 60. 70% commission. Okay, so if you are doubting it, you can of course go over here and then check, see commission over here. All right, so now we are done with it. Now we are done with it. We are almost done with everything over here, the settings and other stuff. Now for us to be able to check how it works, and we need to open the website in a new tab. So I'm going to go over here and then go to this place, and then I'm going to go and then open the website. Let me copy the link. Online digital store .xyz. Okay, so what is happening to my website? Oh, okay, so what I need to do is go back over here, go to this place. The website is on coming soon mode. Okay, so I want to go to WooCommerce over here, go to its settings. Okay, so these are some of the things. Sometimes you forget to do certain things. Go to site visibility over here and then put it on live. Okay, just put the website on live, save changes. All right, so now let's go over here and refresh the website, and as you can see, everything is what is now working perfectly over here. So that is it. Now let's see if how a vendor can be able to also create an account. So become a seller over here. We can click over here and go to the membership page over here, and see, this is our membership page over here. So what we have to do is to change this color. Okay, so this is the premium, this is the gold. Okay, so we have to change the color over here. Okay, so let's see if we can change it to red, right? And then make this one the featured color. Let's change it also, red. Okay, so let's try and see. Let's go back over here and then go to the store over here and then go to settings. Okay, we're gonna go to settings, and then let's see. Okay, so I'm going to go to memberships over here. Now I'm going to go to membership settings, and then I'll go to style. Okay, underneath it we have style over here. So this is the progress bar. Okay, so where is the progress bar? This one, it shows perfectly well over there. All right, so let's try and then use that red color. Okay, so this one is a table border, this one is a cell highlighted, and then this one is the preview box. Okay, so let's try and change this one to full red and see. Let's change it to full red and see. So this one also full red, and then let's submit it. Now let's go over here and refresh it, and as you can see, this is how it looks like, right? This is how it looks like. Now another thing we can also do is we can also change this one. Okay, we can change this ones all to, yeah, maybe. So the highlighted, I'm gonna change the highlighted, where is it, table border, cell highlighted. I'm gonna change it, I'm gonna lower it small. Okay, and then where is the green? So the body over here also, I want it to be full red, so it's somehow this kind of red. And let me see how it behaves. So these are some of the things sometimes you have to play around it to make it work. So you see, this is how this one also looks like. Okay, so if you're not, or if you don't like it, then you have to go ahead. So just play around it and then make sure you get a perfect color. Or you can decide to maybe just create your own page and then use it. Okay, but basically this is how it looks like. And then as you can see, we have songs over here: create unlimited song, create unlimited song. So we have to add songs over here. Access to the website, we have 1 month, we have 1 year, and then 6 months. Commission 70%, 90%, depending on what you have. Okay, so that is it. So this is how it is. Now let's say I want to sign up for it, and I go to the free plan for 1 month. So I can go over there. It takes me to the registration page. And then I can be able to just fill in the details and then go ahead and then sign up for the website. I'm not going to do all those things. I don't want this video to be that long. So basically that is how to set this this particular multi-vendor plugin app, that is the WCFM. Okay, so this is how you have to set it up. Make sure that you play around it. If you are using the free version, just play around it. If you are using the pro version, it have more features. Okay, so just just get the pro version and then make sure that you can be able to set limits for the number of products that, or the number of songs that artists can be able to upload, depending on the membership that they pick, the plan that they pick. Okay, so guys, thank you for watching, and thank you for staying with us. And our multi-vendor website that we've created has come to an end, and I hope you guys learned something out of it. Be able to create your own website. See you in the next video. Bye bye.